Ten Tails, at least let us start the show before you drop
Right?
$100 super chat.
Oh my
Hey.
god.
Hey everybody,
What's up, everybody?
welcome to Death Battle Cast. Excited to jump into this one. That we're going to be doing a matchup that I think a lot of us are very interested in. We got a pitch for it. We've seen it on Ballot Banter. It's a very fun matchup idea. But quick shout out to Ten Tails for the $100 super chat. Gilded Data for the gifted memberships. If you got one of those, give Data a thanks. And then Dude Blade also for a super chat. Talking about their pitch that they had with us earlier
Yeah, it
this
was really
week,
fun.
which was great. Yeah.
And then yes, we have fireside chat tomorrow. God, y'all are going
Yes,
crazy
so
already.
we'll get to the super chats and Ten Tails in just a second. But yes, we are doing a matchup between Revan and Dark Urge. This is Revan from Star Wars and Dark Urge, the like. I don't know if Dark Urge is technically the canon protagonist of Baldur's Gate 3, but he is sort of the like specific one you can create that
Yeah.
kind of fits within the story in a specific way. So yes, Revan versus Dark Urge, very excited for this. It's going to be really cool, and the way this is going to work is Revan is going to be represented by Liam, Dark Urge is going to be represented by Javi. Also, hi, I'm Ben, joined by Chad as well. And it's going to be their jobs to convince us that their character should win in a death battle. And by us, I mean you, because at the end of the show, all of you watching this live right now will be able to vote on who you think wins the death battle. We do this show live every Tuesday at noon Central Time. It's 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So thank you for joining us. And we got quite a few people in chat. Oh my god, you want to hit those super chats, Chad?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll start with Ten Tails saying I did the face where the Trunks is holding the phone and smile meme when I saw Revan because the new Disney Plus series delivered one of the best fights Revan has had in the Maul series. They really did Revan justice in that series. Now I'm excited.
Wait.
Yeah.
Revan is in a Darth Maul series?
Are you saying Raven?
Mishear-
I just assumed it autocorrected.
Wait, what? Ten Tails, are you fucking with us? What's going on here?
I got really confused there for a second.
Yeah.
Revan is not in Maul, right? The new Maul series that's out like right now. There's no freaking
That's
way.
insane.
He typed Raven, but I assumed he meant Revan. But I'm very confused now. Night Ghost, thanks for giving out your one membership. Congrats to whoever that went to.
It's a Darth Maul series? Sorry, go on.
It's going on right now.
And then Michael
I
said,
didn't
just
even
want to start
know.
by saying I thought this was our first character from the Star Wars extended universe, but then someone reminded me we had Thrawn. Yep.
That is
And
true.
Third Degree says,
Yeah.
since Megamind's preview is hit, I'm curious, are there any characters you actively avoid using for fear of copyright?
Darth Revan.
we can get into that in a little bit because yes,
Yeah.
Gru versus Megamind is out. One of the fastest growing episodes in recent Death Battle history, which is crazy.
Fastest growing?
Yeah, fastest. Oh, okay. All right, take down the episode.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it's such a fun episode. If you have not seen Gru versus Megamind, definitely check it out. It's definitely a unique take of an episode just because of the characters at hand, right? They're not exactly the epic fighters that we typically do. But very much trying to capture
very
the
fun.
energy of both those like movies. Oh my god, okay. Revan is not in the Maul series, correct? I think we're talking about like Crow. I think his name is Crow. It's one of the Inquisitors who has kind of a mask. I think that's who it is. Anyway, maybe there's also a Raven. I don't know, but either way, yes.
Thank you, Tim.
Let's go ahead and get into Revan versus the Dark Urge. So to clarify who the heck Revan is, because maybe it's possible that this game is so goddamn old that nobody knows who this freaking character is, and Disney keeps making characters that have similar type masks because everybody likes the design.
Is the KotOR remake is that done?
Happening.
Is that shelved? Is it happening?
I don't think it's ever happening.
Okay, that sucks.
I would love for it to happen because I love KotOR, but I don't think it's ever happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, give us the rundown on who Revan is.
Yeah, okay. For those of you who don't know, KotOR, Knights of the Old Republic, classic Star Wars video game from the mid 2000s. Revan is the primary, he's the main character. He is the player character. Revan is one of the greatest warriors the galaxy has ever seen. He is one of the greatest generals of the Old Republic. He hates Mandalorians more than any Sarlacc pit ever could, and that is his primary motivating force at the beginning of his story is that he just wants to kill the shit out of these Mandalorians. He defeats Mandalore the Ultimate, becomes like this great Jedi master and general, and then goes off with his sidekick, his Padawan, apprentice, whatever, Malik. Which, if you know storytelling, any character that has Mal in their name might be a bad guy in the future. So they get possessed and turned to the dark side. Not possessed, but they get turned to the dark side by the Sith Emperor, who's this mysterious figure out in the galaxy. They become Sith. They come back. They wage a civil war against the galaxy. Malik betrays Revan. Revan is captured by the Jedi. He has his mind erased, and then essentially that's how you start the game. You start the game as like this random dude, and as the game progresses, you eventually get your memories back, realize who you are, defeat Malik, and go on plenty of more fun, horrifying adventures. But the idea behind Revan is that he is both Sith and Jedi at the same time. He has both light and dark in him, and is super crazy, omega powerful guy. He's people love him because he's so strong. I'm convinced because he has no character other than what you give him. Yeah, that's Revan.
Well, he's the player character, right? So
He's the player
whatever
character.
Yeah.
you want him to be. It was one of the first, like KotOR was the like template for what became Mass Effect, right? It was
Yeah.
one of the first.
Yes,
I think a
exactly.
lot of hype around Revan comes from nostalgia of playing that game and actually having your choices matter, helping who lives, who dies, choosing whether or not to like the plot twisted KotOR is so fucking crazy when you find
Yeah.
out because the whole time you're chasing
You,
after
Revan?
Revan. The whole
Yeah,
time you're chasing
yeah.
after Revan, right? And then you
Yeah.
find out that you're Revan. It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit. And the Jedi fucking erased your memory. Like, what do you do in that sense? Do you still follow the Jedi who erased your memory, or do you betray them and become a Sith? It's great. So Revan was like one of the, I think a lot of people's first, especially after the like kind of like RPG drought that
Yeah.
at least Western gaming had for a while. Like KotOR was like huge, and then in more modern times, we get what that kind of game has helped build up to. Obviously, there were plenty of other types of CRPGs that built up to Baldur's Gate 3 and
Yeah.
the Dark Urge. Who is the Dark Urge, Javi?
Oh man. So the Dark Urge, a character so badass, he doesn't even have a normal name. It's literally just a feeling. He is the he is the literal ball spawn. He's supposed to be the avatar of the murder god Ball. He is literally supposed to be
Doesn't
this
all
all
spawn come from
powerful.
your balls?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Anyways, he is meant to be the most powerful avatar of Ball. I mean, as a sorcerer, especially, and kind of similar to Revan, start off as an amnesiac. So you go through the game either leaning into your murderistic tendencies or by actually like going against them. But it's literally is so powerful, has access to so many different powerful spells, elemental spells, spells that can actually rend time and space. But actually on that note, it's interesting when we're talking about avatars because what you see here before you actually as Javi, right, is merely just an avatar of the true godly specimen of researcher known as Lousy. That's right. I brought someone else with me.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, it was me
Welcome to
all
the show,
along.
Lousy.
Good to be here.
This is gonna be great.
Wait, so what's happening?
So we're both going to be representing the Dark Urge. I mean, this is a super crazy fight to begin with. Revan's kind of a powerful foe, but I think we got it. I think because there's so much to cover.
I think we do.
Yeah.
So in order to take down Liam and Revan, we have 2 of the research team ripping the chosen of Baal, Dark Urge. Okay. So is just because I saw a few people in chat asking, is Tav the name of like the non-Dark Urge main character essentially of Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3, but I've only been playing as Dark Urge currently. And as far as I'm concerned, the only true name for the player character is what I named my Dark Urge, Tulio.
Sure.
And for that, so going forth, he shall be known as both the Dark Urge and Tulio.
Okay.
Yeah, Tav is
Okay.
so you have an option to play any of the named characters in Baldur's Gate
Mhm.
3. The Dark Urge is one whose backstory you don't know. And the fact that he's a ball spawn, like all the other protagonists of the Baldur's Gate games are also ball spawn, if I recall. So he's kind of like
That is
meant to
correct.
be the main character. But then you can just create a character from total
You can just
scratch
make a
that the
blank slate.
community is named Tav.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
And in fact,
divinity as well.
Yeah, and
So
in
okay,
fact-
we've said a lot of like proper words and proper nouns and things like that in regards to Baldur's Gate 3. What is Baal? Let's talk about
Baal is the god of murder.
Yeah.
He wants to kill things.
That's it.
That is such
It's
a
kind of his
great-
whole
Hey,
thing.
you know what?
Yeah.
It do really be that simple sometimes, guys.
Yes, if you've ever seen like the cover of like Baldur's Gate 1 or 2 with that skull sort of icon, that is the symbol of Baal, has been since the early days of Dungeons and Dragons. Baal's been around for a while in the Forgotten Realms. So yeah, okay, this is crazy. We're doing Star Wars and the crazy expanded universe that comes with like Legacy or Legend Star Wars versus Baldur's Gate and the crazy expanded like ridiculous universe of D&D Forgotten Realms. So this could get wild. I'm not really sure where this is gonna end up. Yeah, this is gonna be a weird one. What do you think, Liam? How's Revan gonna stack up here?
I think Revan stacks up fucking great. Star Wars gets cuckoo crazy pants. I mean, like, I think the two are a really good match for each other. Because especially if you go with Dark Urge's like canon setup, which is that he's canonically a sorcerer class. You can make him anything, but he's canonically a sorcerer. I think that pits him very well against a Jedi, who are essentially the equivalent of D&D sorcerers, right? Where they just
Yeah.
tap into an energy field and do stuff. But Revan is insanely powerful. He's one of the most powerful beings in the Star Wars history. He is hype man. He is the character that the writers have liked to hype and make really strong. And he has one of the most insane, like, telepathy and like mind control stuff is going to play a part of this discussion, obviously, with the nether brain and whatnot. Revan has one of the most insane fucking like telepathy feats like in fiction. It's crazy what he does. So yeah, I think they're a great match for each other.
Okay. Okay.
Very quickly, Jangwood's super chat just cracked me up. It's like, so what kind of confession do you say to Baal? Forgive me, Father, for I am stained.
How does that work? I'm actually looking at Baal's wiki, like D&D wiki page right now. There is a
confess to
Church
Baal?
of Baal. Hang on.
Oh,
What do you do
Oh,
if you're in
yeah.
the Church of Baal?
You
Activities.
murder people and sacrifice
Quote.
them.
well, we don't know if it's
Yeah.
like a Catholic church.
Well,
maybe
Well,
it's
it
like one of
says
those,
activities, quote,
mega
as
churches.
expected, Ballist's main activities consisted of preparing for and carrying out assassinations, bounty hunting, and straight up bloody murder.
There you go.
There's a
Also,
great
Ballist.
and not infuriating at all level or area in Baldur's Gate 3 where you have to travel into like the Church of Baal, and there are these totally not irritating at all Baal assassins that are totally not irritatingly placed with irritating powers that keep fucking killing me. Ah!
Okay, so Javi and Lousy just channel that energy, and you're sure to win this.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Absolutely.
Baal
What
spawn
do you
are
do in
just
that
fucking
church? Cody
assholes.
says
It's
you
like,
get out of that church.
Oh my god, yeah. Talk about a crazy thing to try to. You just walk into, the plenty of people just like go to different like religious locations and see like ceremonies and things like that, just to experience it. Imagine just stumbling into one of those, like being like, oh, I wonder what these guys do.
How
You
is it that
step
like
into the
Yeah.
chapel?
the Church of Baal is literally right under Baldur's Gate, like the city. Like
Yep.
you can
Yeah,
just
welcome
like
to
it's a
every D&D
5-minute
adventure ever.
walk.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
What? How are
Wait.
the flaming fists not on top of this shit?
Wait, that's interesting. You have a whole bunch of ball like followers of ball. Like if they're all bundled up together, does that make them a ball pit?
God damn it.
Oh shit.
Also, Liam, the flaming fist is corrupt as hell. What do you mean?
Yeah, but
That's
also,
the whole
like-
point of the organization.
You want to be
I'm
the
just
person to
saying.
go tell them they're not getting their tax exemption? No. Like,
Oh,
All
are you
right.
suggesting that they know that the ball spawn are there and are merely taxing
Some people
them,
do.
for extra
Yeah,
Some
revenue?
people do. Welcome to every D&D city adventure ever. Every Baldur's Gate adventure ever. Whether it's in a Baldur's Gate video game or in a module, or people just make it up adventures for Baldur's Gate. That's how it generally goes. It's very classic Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate type adventure. So okay. A big thing with these guys is we are specifically using RPG characters that have different classes that you can choose from. Baldur's Gate obviously pulls from the D&D 5th edition, or Baldur's Gate 3 specifically pulls from D&D 5th edition, whereas Knights of the Old Republic has its own sort of class system, and also different sort of like Jedi system. Once you realize that you're a Jedi, and you can actually you can become one of 3 different types of Jedi, I believe. So how do we want to approach like what type of Revan and what type of
For Dark Urge, it's pretty simple. His, as Liam said, his default class is a sorcerer, so we just go with all his sorcerer abilities, and it is it's not. There's no like quote unquote canon per se ending, but by and large, like you can by all accounts just be a sadistic asshole and kill a lot of people and give into the Dark Urge, and when you do that, Daddy Ball rewards you with a lot of really good blessings and extra powers. So Dark Urge is also Tulio is also getting those.
Baldur's Gate goes up to a specific level, right? What's the level? Is it 12?
I actually don't know the specific level cap, but as far as like the full scale, you can it's explicitly stated that one of the final bosses, the Netherbrain with the crown of Karsus, he specifically rivals and is like a threat to the gods and deities in D&D. So Dark Urge Tulio is going to get very, very high up on that that tiering.
Yeah. Okay. And 12th is the max level, so Dark Urge can only go up to 6th level spells, which means spells like Time Stop are not available to him. I don't actually remember if Time Stop's a sorcerer.
You say that, but as it just so happens, he has a spell that I might get into that is a 9th level spell, and that is basically an insta win con that Revan has no defense against. But I don't know if we want to get into that right now or.
Okay, planting the seed. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I do want to jump over to Revan and kind of like same kind of question. How do we want to approach, Revan's like class, I guess?
I don't know about which classes are in the game. I do know that Revan is in the Old Republic is fought as a boss. So I don't know if there's a canon class system. I just have like a list of all of the powers that he has like access to, all of the different force abilities. I would treat him just as any like Jedi or Sith, just in general. I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's fair. Revan does appear in more than just KotOR, and even more than Old Republic. Like he appears in some books. Like he's just kind of there. So he's at least canonically presented male in the books, and he has a canon name, which is Revan, which I believe the books just call him, even without taking into account like what you would have called him, and if you would have kept him as Revan or not.
George.
But yeah. If you called him George,
yeah, it's not George.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Some of the other chats said they named their Dark Urge Frank. So
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
You name
Frank
him
versus
Frank,
George,
Schlumbo.
wouldn't sound quite as epic. So I guess it makes sense to keep him Revan. Yeah, a few people in chat have mentioned that Crow in the new Maul series looks kind of like Revan.
Oh, speaking of which,
Mandalorian
Ten
one.
Tails, who again doesn't know any other denomination of money, dropped another $100 super chat to say, "Yeah, I'm confused. I was rushing this one, but there's someone who is wearing the same clothes as Revan, known as Crow, who wears the same clothes as the one in the thumbnail, almost." Thank you,
Yeah,
Ten Tails.
yeah.
You did not need to drop another $100 to clarify.
It's funny because Disney Star Wars keeps like teasing these characters, like the in the Ahsoka series, which is great. Um, sarcasm. There was a character that everybody thought was probably Starkiller. Turns out he was just a bunch of
Yeah.
smoke. And then there's a character in the is it Tales of the Jedi? It's another Ahsoka episode, or not an Ahsoka series, but it's an Ahsoka focus episode that teased like an Inquisitor who had the mask and stuff, and everybody was like, "Wait, are they fucking bringing Revan in?" And no, it was just some guy for Ahsoka to kill. But now they're making him into a character because he looks so cool.
Yeah.
But like, what do they do now? Does that mean that they're not
Like,
going
why
to bring
would-
in Revan because they just brought in Crow instead? I don't know. Anyway,
Just why would they even bring Revan? Revan is like thousands of years old at this point, right? Like this takes place like I forget what the timeline is, but literally thousands of years in the past. Why is anybody?
Mhm.
I mean, I know that they can write anything in, like, oh, he opened up a
Somehow,
fourth
Revan
butthole and-
appears.
Yeah.
at the end of KotOR 1, Revan
Yeah.
goes to try to find the Sith Emperor again. And so in KotOR 2 and Old Republic, the implication is that something happened that
Yeah.
caused Revan to like either become immortal or become something else. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I don't know if actually that was ever
Oh, I can
established
tell
what happened
you.
to Revan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, what happened is that he went with Mitra Surik and this character named Scourge to defeat the Emperor, and one of them betrayed the other two. Maybe it's the character named Scourge.
I wonder which one.
But Scourge was actually doing it as like a Doctor Strange kind of like thing where he was like, oh, they have to lose now so that in the future the Sith Emperor can be defeated. So Revan is defeated and he's imprisoned by the Emperor. And then he spends the next 300 years in like a telepathic war with Vitiate. And then eventually like his light side ascends and becomes one with the Force. His dark side stays and is released. And then you, as the hero of Tython, who is the main character he's the player character in the Old Republic, you get this strike force and you fight Revan and you defeat his like weakened dark side. And then I don't know if that side also ascends to the Force or whatever. But you get help from like Force Ghost good Revan comes down and then helps you. Yeah, it's all fucking stupid. But Revan is like dead. Like Revan is like ascended. He's like become one with the Force. He's not here anymore. People asking for Revan to come back have not read the source material.
Oh yeah, they can do
In
whatever they
Legends.
want.
In Legends. But you know
in
what?
Legends.
Against
There
the
is something that unlike Revan passing into the Force, there is something that can stay with you forever, right, Chad?
I was about to do that almost same segue. I just want to point it out. Yeah, and that's Aura Frames because they're sponsoring us again, and we appreciate them. So listen, hey, this Mother's Day, upgrade that traditional gift of flowers to Aura Frames. You know, flowers, candy, or whatever temporary gift you give to your mother or partner. It's nice and it's great, but it's just that. It's temporary, right? After a few days, the flowers have wilted. But with Aura Frames, you'll be given a gift that lasts a lifetime. So personally, my mom was constantly asking me for pictures of the family, and like all the time. And like, why don't you post on Facebook anymore? And so then I got her an Aura frame, and both she and I couldn't be happier because it's super easy to set up and use. You just download the free Aura app, select the photos or videos you want, and they'll be sent straight to the frame. You can even text them directly if you prefer that way. So I've got the app. All my family members have the app on their phones, and whenever we get a great photo or capture a special moment, we send it over. Actually, speaking of which, I got a good photo of all of us at a concert I was at last night. I'm gonna send that over right now. Watch how easy this is. All right, I'm not gonna show you because I don't, showing my kids and stuff. But look, add photo, boom, done on my mom's frame. Look how easy that was.
You sure you sent the right photo?
Yeah, I really hope so. No, yeah, it was the right photo. I got a nice as all of us at the concert. It's great. Now I'm gonna get a call probably later to be like, "Oh, I saw that photo. Where were you?" Because that's what happens all the time. Now I get photos from, I get calls from my mom talking about how excited she is and how she feels like she was with us. She was there with us and all that stuff. And she really really loves her Aura frame. And anyone who you're looking for a good gift to give this Mother's Day will love it too. It's got free unlimited storage, so you can send as many photos of it as you want. Plus, each Aura frame comes packed with a premium gift box with no price tag. You can even pre-upload photos and videos to the frame, so it's already full of moments and memories right out the box. Make Mother's Day special with Aura frames. Named #1 by Wirecutter, you can save on the gifts mom loves by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, viewers can get $25 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with code DBC. That's AURA frames.com, promo code DBC. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. We appreciate Aura frames. There is no greater gift. I'm telling y'all. She will love it. Anybody you get it will love it.
Thank you, Aura frames. Yes, can confirm as somebody who also gifted an Aura frame to my own mom. Moms love it. Yeah, no, the Aura frame 7, the Aura frame app is legitimately really cool. Also, Anubis with the super chat mentioning, so to my understanding, KotOR is based on the old Star Wars RPG, which was based around D&D 3.0. Yeah, actually, Knights of the Old Republic has the Dungeons and Dragons OGL in its credits, which means it uses the D&D D20 system. Like it literally uses the D&D system. Yeah. So if you've played KotOR, you've played D&D. Essentially.
Fantastic.
Like a
Oh,
homebrew
crazy.
version of D&D.
Yeah.
So they had to credit it because it's a whole thing with D&D about
'Cause
like
it's
the game
based on it.
system and how you can apply certain aspects of it to anything so long as you have the OGL credits in it. Which is why there was a whole OGL scandal a few years back that would have like tanked stuff like KotOR if it actually went through. Anyway,
Yeah, Lily was
Not
mentioning that
necessary.
earlier in a super chat too. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah. Are there any super chats we need to hit before we keep going?
Oh, we've got quite a few.
Yeah,
Well,
I figured that we have a lot that we haven't talked about.
Dude Blade is stoked that Lousy's here, so he's supporting both of y'all.
Aw, thanks, man.
Aw.
Yeah. Let's see. Kino's talking about, imagine this is going to be one of those fights that they both have the ability to end the fight instantly and it'll come down to speed. Maybe we'll talk about speed, I'm sure, pretty soon. Selena says KotOR and KotOR 2 were the first Guns and Powers games. Guns and Powers games. That's cool. Third Degree says, I hear ball spawn and a spawn of Demon Lord is not what comes to mind. I want this to be an episode just so Boomstick can make those jokes. Yep. Liam got one out earlier, and I've been trying to be good because there's a couple I've let go.
Why is the Dragonborn skin so white?
No, it is Bwal. It's BHAAL. Get it right. Bwal.
Yeah, you have to say it like
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cody says, aside from the ball stuff, which
Bwal.
are we doing Illithid powers? Is the question.
Ooh,
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
you can
we'll have to get to
collect.
that.
Yeah, you can collect illithid tadpoles throughout, obviously, the course of the game. They would totally be accessible to the Dark Urge. There's actually at the end of Act 2, the Dark Urge is actually given an Astral Touch tadpole, and it just gives it access to like the Dark Urge access to like way more powerful illithid powers. It's not even just like psychic powers anymore. It's also like rending space with like a black hole, dominating other people, giving flights, etc.
Can you
But
become
I'm
an
sure
illithid?
Lousy has. Huh?
Can you become an illithid in that? I forget. Can you just
Yeah,
like
that's
is
literally
there
what
like
you
a
do.
Yeah.
advancement where you can just become
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not missing.
Big creepy squid dude.
Yeah.
That's a game over though, right? Because like once that happens, you're no longer you.
No,
Oh
No.
no, you keep going.
you
You
keep
can?
going.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like low key kind of chill. At least the one that
You
don't
can
know-
straight
I
up
don't know that
romance
I
an
would-
illithid.
Yeah.
Yeah, the illithid that you meet is chill because he's very special and important. Spoilers. He has a gate.
Yeah, okay. But like becoming a mind flayer, like you are then bound to an elder brain. So, right? Like that's no longer
Not necessarily.
Tulio.
No, it is
So,
still
like,
Tulio's mind perseveres, trust me. Although I didn't actually go with the illithid stuff in mine, I'll admit,
Sure.
but it is perfectly possible, and you'll like, yeah, just continue on as
Yeah,
normal.
yeah. But basically, what I'm wondering is like, I guess if I guess it's kind of the equivalent of going Sith, right? Because like once you like the idea of a
Mhm.
Sith is that they get kind of like if they go full on, then
Yeah.
there's sort of like a corrupted element of the Force. Um,
Except for
uh,
Revan. Connection. They could
Yeah.
both
oh, okay,
maintain.
yeah, that's true because Revan
Yeah.
can kind of like come back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it does make sense then. So add in mind flayer like telekinesis and brain eating. There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, they're the
Um,
big squid dudes with the tentacle faces for people that don't know, which is for me is like one of the like things I think of first when I think of D&D. I think of mind flayers.
Yeah. Yeah. Very classic Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't know how
Okay.
this Tulio agenda is working, but Kino in the super chat says, "Think it'd be funny to have Dark Urge Tulio pause the fight with the
Let's
hold up
go.
to do a roll check." So,
Can you guys because we can also name Revan whatever we want. Can you guys give Revan a similarly silly name? And then we can maybe decide we can just and at the end
I
we'll
mean,
have
that's
the
what
vote between
who did you name your Revan? What did you name your Revan?
oh, I haven't played in a long time, but I always name my player character the same thing. Ben, you're familiar with this. I name my character Schlumbo
oh
because I
yeah,
think it's a really funny
Schlumbo.
sound.
Schlumbo
So it
versus
can be
Tulio
Schlumbo
it
versus
is.
Tulio.
Slumbo versus Tulio.
Schlumbo versus Tulio. Here
Even
we
though I
go.
named
Four
my
waiter.
Dark Urge Schlumbo because he's literally a white dragonborn. Okay, let me talk about some of Revan's powers. We should probably
Yeah.
do that. It's 12:30.
Yeah. Let's get into like the especially the really powerful stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so like
start
he
with
has
Revan.
normal stuff like telekinesis. I think this is not huge, but I think it's really fucking sick. He can do telekinetic lightsaber combat. Like he has two lightsabers, purple and red, and he can like control them telekinetically. Um, he can see the future with precognition, like in the middle of fights, he can see stuff happening. He does have force lightning. He can amplify his powers with force amplification. He's got force valor and rage. Valor is like the light side version of it. Rage is the dark side version, which is just like make yourself stronger with emotion. He has two to menace, which can catch any sort of energy attack that goes his way, and he can kind of catch it and dispel it. Think of Yoda fighting Dooku with the lightning, or was it Sidious? I don't remember. He can resist physical and energy attacks. He can set up barriers like force fields. He can heal himself with force heal. He can affect your mind in any way that he wants. We can talk more about that. He can detoxify poison. He can get rid of poison. He can shatter point, which is where he locates either physical weaknesses on a person's body, or he can just sort of like see the future and chart out what is the right path to do to defeat you. He can do kind of a metaphysical shatter point as well. He has sever force, which can sever you literally from the force. He can control matter at like a subatomic level, like literally reshape and control matter. He can teleport in his boss fight because he's a boss in a video game, so he can teleport, obviously. And he can become a force ghost. He can come back from that. Although his most impressive, I think, the thing that associates most with Revan, I feel, is like telepathy, because his story starts off with him being mentally affected by Vitiate and then getting his brain wiped by the Jedi High Council. But over time, he becomes one of the most proficient telepaths in Star Wars history. Most notably, I alluded to this before, but when he was put in stasis under the Emperor's control, he actually was able to wage a telepathic war with Vitiate for hundreds of years. Like they were in a telepathic battle as the Emperor tried to dominate him again. Revan was actually more successful. He was able to pacify the Emperor's like darkest urges, and prevent him like from doing this big invasion. He was able to like push it off and make it so that the heroes could come in and succeed him. Vitiate, who is a Sith Emperor from the past, he is like Legends Sidious, kind of. He is like Legends Old Republic version of Sidious. Vitiate was able to mentally control 8,000 Sith Lords all at the same time, and was able to possess the entire population of the planet of Ziost, which included at least millions of people at the time. So the fact that Revan is able to like hold his own against that makes him an extremely formidable telepath. That's just
That
Okay.
was a lot. Also,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw me just like die for a second there, but the chat caught up to when you asked what his name should be, and Ditto
Yeah.
immediately went 3 Leo. It's just fucking absolutely killed me.
I was wondering why you were popping off so
Okay,
hard.
I like 3 Leo more.
And then Cubert went 4 Leo because he's really shooting for it. But just bam, 3 Leo. Oh god, that killed me.
Okay, it's 3
Oh,
Leo.
love it.
It's
Okay.
3
I
Leo.
love you guys. Thank you so
yeah.
much for
Well, let's talk a bit about what the Dark Urge is capable of doing. Run through his greater powers.
Well, I'm gonna activate my stand now, Lousy. If you want to go into deep detail on the D&D lore, Baldur's Gate 3 lore.
Absolutely. So, as a sorcerer, Tulio, the Dark Urge, has access to a load of magic and like a ton of different abilities. He can use with the Illithid stuff. He can use telekinesis. He has spells that can make black holes, shoot fire. He can basically control all of the elements. Has actual elemental summons and like a ton of just other powerful abilities. He has like a necronomicon book with a bunch of evil dark spells. And he can telekinetically like grab people with a like magic hand. He has a special he has a as a since he's starts as a like dragon lizard dude. He can spit like ice breath and um but the big stuff that he has are the gifts of Baal, which specifically gives him access to a lot of very cool abilities. One being the actually I don't know if this is a Baal specifically from Ball's blessing, but he has the globe of invulnerability, which just makes a force field around him that just makes him immune to damage. He can fire a sunbeam, which is just a literal like beam of sunlight. Um, and as the avatar, the spawn of Ball, he has a Slayer form where he becomes Ball's very avatar, gets a massive boost in power, and can in effect like gets a ability that makes it so every single save check he has to make, which is basically like a save against like a spell, a transmutation ability, a mind control ability, something that's trying to affect him.
yeah, can you stop it
he
and counter it, right? Yeah.
it reduces that chance to a 2. So basically you need to so he basically has a 95% chance of just no diffing any kind of like mind hacks or whatever's thrown at him. And he gains a 40% resistance to all other magic and attacks on top of his already insane like resistance, since he's a sorcerer and can in effect like shrug off things. And he just becomes a giant like murderous like creature.
Actually, if you want to get a good look at it too, Sam, go ahead and pull up image 10 because this thing is
It's
terrifying.
pretty cool. Yeah.
There it is in all its glory.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Yeah, ain't he cute?
That's a tail, by the way.
Yeah,
This was not
there are a lot of
cropped.
there are a lot of dicks in Baldur's Gate 3, but that isn't one of them.
No, don't say that. Oh
But-
god. Okay, keep going.
Hey, wait,
But-
hang on.
Yeah.
What did I not see there? I didn't see any balls.
Oh, all right, we have to have set a record that like we've said ball more times than ever. like,
Yeah. But on top
Anyway.
of that, And to stacked on top of all of this, he has a ton of items, like scrolls that give him access to additional spells, and a potion of universal resistance. Take a guess what that does.
Yeah.
But perhaps most impressive of all is being the spawn of Ball. He has power word kill. Take a guess what this spell does.
Yep.
Image 11 Sam.
No, not
Yep.
yeah, close enough. It fucking kills you, and it's not just a regular death curse, because there are death curses in D&D that can, like, inflict death on people normally if they can't pass the check. This is better than that because it ignores conventional, like, saving throws, which are like in canon resistances, like that player characters and other entities in D&D can, like, use to fight back and resist various spells. But because this power word kill is a type of true name magic, it is basically a magic that governs the creation of the entire multiverse and is like such an absolute level of reality that it is literally the multiverse going, yeah, that bitch is dead. And you cannot
Okay.
you cannot avoid it, and you cannot resist it.
He speaks the truth. So image 12, actually, Sam, if you can pull that up, it goes into a little bit of description on how powerful these like power words are. And yeah, do you want to read that little section?
Yes, and I will try to use my, like, creepy cult voice as much as I can. When you speak the word of the true original language of the universe, you tap into the power of creation itself. For the ability to describe something is the ability to define it. A wielder of true name magic understands the language older and more fundamental than all others. A mother tongue whose words and phrases are the building blocks of the universe.
So that's pretty much like the gist, right? Like you're pretty
Yeah.
much gonna get fucked as soon as like this spell gets spoken.
Sure, okay. I will say, if anybody here wants to see the best use of power word kill ever, go check out our Nightly Brew channel.
I was about to say that.
That's up here in our Tomb of Horrors series, and it is
So
the
good.
best thing ever.
It really is.
Speaking of D&D, hey, let's talk about our second sponsor
And
for today's episode, which is Hero Forge. Hey, Hero Forge is back, sponsoring Death Metal Cast, which is great. So if you're not familiar with what Hero Forge is the greatest character creator tool ever made. Like, bar none. That is not hyperbole. The quick pitch is, with Hero Forge, you can design your own custom miniatures and dice right in the browser, choosing from dozens of fantasy species and thousands of weapons, outfits, and parts. Then you can get the actual physical miniature of the character you created, either ordered by mail or 3D printed at home. And also, if you're not into like painting or shading your minis, you can do all that in Hero Forge itself, which means that the mini that you get in the mail is fully custom made with a custom pose, custom colors, all designed by you. And here's the thing: if you open up a new tab right now, or go to your computer and open up a new browser window, if you just type in heroforge.com or click the link below, it'll take you to the main page of Hero Forge, and immediately you will see why I think it is the greatest character creator tool ever made, because that's the home page. It's just, you go to heroforge.com, boom, all the tools are right in front of you. You can make whatever character you want. It is brilliant. It is so cool. It's been around for a while. I've used it many times in the past, even before they started sponsoring us. And not only can you make pretty much any kind of character you want, you can make custom dice. You can like take pieces of your character, put it in like a D20, or something completely different, right? Like if you're making like a space adventurer, you can put like a blaster pistol in like a D10 or whatever, and that'll be like the D10 you roll for that character's blaster pistol. It's really cool. And they have so much stuff on it, and they add new stuff every week. And again, they've been going on for like years and years and years, like 8 or 9 years at this point. So there's a ton of stuff. available on the website. It is so freaking awesome. I cannot hype up Hero Forge enough. Even if they weren't sponsoring us, I would be hyping them up because I legitimately think they are really, really cool. So go to Hero Forge and use code DBC to get 5% off all orders of physical miniatures. It is not combinable with other sales or promotions, of which there may be many. Visit heroforge.com to start designing your own custom miniature and dice today, and check back often. New content is added every week. Legitimately, it is really cool. I love Hero Forge, man. It's such a cool tool. Thank you for sponsoring us again, Hero Forge.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Okay, so we are in the final 15 minutes of the show, so we need to get into like the really big stuff here, and make sure that we really land like why you guys think these characters win. We have what I'm kind of seeing right now is, yes, we have a sorcerer with like D&D magic. We have one of the most powerful Jedi cross Sith like combinations, warriors in Star Wars history. How those powers interact, I think, is going to be very much up to the viewer, because Star Wars, the Force is very much like a soft magic system, whereas D&D magic is like a hard magic system. Like spells have very specific uses. They're like, it's very Harry Potter coded, right? Like a wizard will develop a spell and create it or discover it, and everything has a very specific use. It's not like they can just magically do anything they want. It has to be this like specific use case with specific components. But either way, like there's some crazy powerful spells, some crazy powerful force magic that's going to be combining against each other. But what's going to win it for them, right? Let's start with Revan. Like, what's going to win this? Chad?
Villain pointed out that Revan has a max HP of 1,000, so he negates power word
right.
kill.
Power word kill.
I know. We're talking like naming on an existence level. Like it doesn't matter what your health is, right?
Well, you have to
Doesn't work on everything in the game.
Hit points generally represent like a character's will to, especially in D&D, character's will to continue, right? One way you can interpret hit points in D&D is that anytime you take damage, you're not actually getting hit by something. It's like a near miss, right? You can consider hit points like luck, right? This is just one of many ways you can interpret hit points. And then when you actually take the last hit point is lost. Oh, your luck's run out and you've gotten hit by an arrow, right? And now you go down. So like how you interpret hit points, this is in the game, is very much, up to you. So that kind of applies here. And you can interpret that in the same kind of way for Revan as well. Once he gets down to 100, power word kill is an instant win right? So in that sense, Dark Urge just has to get him down to 100. But we can get to that. Let's talk about Revan real quick. What's Revan going to do?
Yeah, I think that first off, Revan's precognition gives him a huge advantage in this fight. The Nether Brain, if we're using the Nether Brain, I think you probably should, is an analytical master, but it takes time for the Nether Brain to calculate the best path forward for the Dark Urge. Revan can immediately see the future. He'll know whatever the Dark Urge is going to do. The Dark Urge powers come from, you use this terms like lofty, like powers of creation, the universe itself. That's the Force. That also describes the Force. In some ways, I think the Force and the D&D magic system are actually very similar, because even though one is soft and one is hard, they're both meant to describe roughly the same idea, which is like a creation spanning energy system connected to life that can allow you to manipulate reality in whatever way you want.
Well, do you know what? Do you know what Forgotten Realms' magic is called?
Called the Weave.
It's called the Weave,
right?
It is literally the same kind of idea. The only main difference is that instead of it being this like life connecting thing, it is kind of just leftover energy from the gods, basically, just kind of hanging out everywhere.
Yep.
Let me go through my list of things that I wrote down. He also has his own way of insta-killing the Dark Urge.
Yes, and I've heard about this, and I highly question it being a viable insta-kill, but go on.
well, let's get to it first, Liam.
Go
ahead.
Okay. So first off is Sever Force, which he's able to use against Force users to sever them from the Force, or in this case, perhaps the Weave, or perhaps even Baal's influence himself, preventing him from using this layer form. The second is Force Drain. Force Drain is an ability that allows you to consume the force, the energy from another person, and use it to power yourself up. And then once you get to once you're weak enough, and once Revan is powerful enough against you, can even atomize your body and destroy you at the atomic level. So I think the fact that power word kill is a one use thing. It is potentially, I don't think Revan has any way to potentially resist it if it lands, but Revan would be able to see the future, see when the Dark Urge is going to do that, use Force Telekinesis to shut his fucking mouth because you do need to speak it.
It is a verbal spell. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, we just got a super
and
chat from the Filthy Casuals that was talking about that, saying Revan being able to block Dirge from doing the vocal of physical components to cast spells with the Force is a big thing. Limited spell
Force
slots
choke,
are
right?
also a huge limiting factor.
Yeah. And with Force Drain, he's essentially able to use the Dark Urge's massive power as like a conduit, as like a battery, right? Empowering himself as they fight. Yeah, I think he has a lot of what he needs to do to outlast the Dark Urge's spells and abilities and stamina, and go in for the kill with a variety of force powers or his lightsabers.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense to me, especially with the idea, like I was saying, like D&D spells require specific components, like verbal, somatic, and material are the three components for D&D spells, right? So verbal's vocal, right? Somatic
Yep.
is you moving your hands, and material is an object that is required. So different spells have different things. Power word kill is specifically just a verbal spell. You just need to say the word, and then they die.
Yeah.
But if he is blocked from just speaking, he can't cast the spell, right?
The most classic force
So
ability in Star Wars.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have a question that Lisa
So-
Creative brings up. So Dark Edge being Urge being a sorcerer means he has access to meta magic, which one of the
Mhm.
meta magic abilities allows him to cast spells even when silenced.
Silent spell.
Yep. There's that.
Yeah. So go ahead, Lousy.
And oh my gosh, thank you. I've been waiting for this. So to begin, the Dark Urge has telekinesis as well, and he's just straight up stronger. Most we've ever seen like Revan deal with is like someone who's like drained the life force of a planet. Dark Urge is on par with the Solars, which are angel-like beings that match the gods and demigods, who are explicitly stated to be able to cleave the sun in two, and other beings that can basically demolish the world. And these solars are a big deal because they also basically are more powerful than the demon lords and the like creatures like or entities like the Demogorgon, who can shake entire universes. So Dark Urge is just straight up more powerful, and the force drain, and he could just resist the telekinesis by countering with his own telekinesis. Force drain specifically requires time, and ignoring the fact that there's just too much power for Revan to like handle or take from the Dark Urge. There's actually a spell in D&D that explicitly drains the life force of creatures. It's just drain life, and it can be resisted with a with a good save throw, which Tulio would absolutely have because he has the Slayer form. That means he has a 95% chance of withstanding like any kind of spell, or such as drain life or force drain, hint hint. And what's more, Tulio, aside from just being stronger, has a wider variety of magic. Whatever vulnerabilities he might have in terms of his resistances, he can also counter with the like potion of universal resistance and just the various items he has. Spell slots are easily handled by just the fact that he has additional spell scrolls that he can fall back on, even if he were to run out of spell slots. And the as far as Sever Force goes, it could theoretically, assuming Revan was like powerful enough, which he honestly probably isn't, it could potentially sever him from certain sorcerer abilities. But because the blessing of Baal specifically comes from external sources, like it's Baal's blessing, he would not be able to get rid of the Slayer form or power word kill. There are specific moments in Baldur's Gate, where you can like be silenced or like not have access to your typical sorcerer magic. Like it is nulled, but you can still use the abilities like Power Word Kill from Baal's Blessing. And even if we do assume that they're like even, that like Force Drain and Power Word Kill are both like equal win cons, like or viable, Power Word Kill is just faster. Because Force Drain requires you to just drain like all of their life force, and there's too much of Tulio for Revan to handle. And it just take more time than Tulio just like force grabbing, well, I say force grabbing, but telekinesis grabbing Revan, going like after getting like annoyed and going, fuck you, Power Word Kill.
That's it.
Okay.
That's specifically how he'd invoke that spell too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holobrain also mentioned earlier in Super Chat that even if he did get severed from Ball/Magic in general, it wouldn't stop the Illithid powers.
Yeah, because Illithid powers is just like telekinetic stuff, like from the tadpoles in his brain.
Yep.
Is he connected to an Elder Brain though?
If depending on like the choices you make, I actually completely, well, I sort of mentioned that you can also, in terms of like pure mind power, in the evil ending to Baldur's Gate 3, you just mentally dominate the Nether Brain and gain control of the crown of Karsus, which
Is that Image 13?
Image
13?
Yeah, Image 13.
Image 13, Sam.
Image 13, Sam.
You don't have to
Yeah.
whisper.
I like it.
Sorry,
Yeah, okay, so I mean, being
Yeah.
capable of dominating a mass, basically the ultimate Elder Brain, is a pretty big deal. So
Yes, and
Revan's gonna
it's
have a hard
something-
time mentally
an
controlling.
Elder Brain with a crown that threatens the gods of D&D.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
I'm fairly confident in the Dark Urge, aka Tulio.
So we've talked a big deal about like Dark Urge being able to stand up to entities that are shaking multiverses, Solars that are capable of cutting suns in half, apparently.
Yep.
But what about Revan? Let's wrap things up with how
Also
does
known as
Revan stack up
3Leo.
in terms of power? Yeah,
3Leo, yeah.
3Leo.
So 3Leo, they said that the most he could be scaled to is like force draining like a planet, which is wrong. It's a wrong statement. 3Leo scales to obviously Vitiate, the Sith Emperor. And both of them have individually been stated to be two of like the most powerful Force users in history, two of the most powerful Sith in history, and more than comparable to Sith like Sidious, Darth Sidious, who himself is able to cause Force storms. And what Force storms are essentially ripping holes in the universe and letting in hyperspace. And what hyperspace is a literal higher dimensional plane, similar to the places that Lousy was just talking about. It's specifically
no,
greater than
no.
4-dimensional, so at least 5-dimensional. And you are able to manipulate that space, rip it open, and let it into the actual regular universe, which is not something that can be quantified, obviously.
Okay.
But
Well, yeah,
characters,
I mean, it can't be
characters like
quantified.
Sidious
Let him finish.
and characters like Sidious and Vitiate also scale to like super weapons, whose names, well, one of them is the World Razor. I don't think it's a super weapon. I think it's like a dude. But super weapons that are able to like destroy planets and stars and even galaxies. One of them is the Hypermatter Bomb, which I think was able to destroy like literally a solar system. Yeah, insanely powerful. There's also a fucking insane feat that I found, which is just nuts. I think it's crazy. Like, don't read into it. Don't like take it too much, but like, there have been instances of Jedi who have been able to navigate hyperspace while inside of hyperspace, which is, if you don't understand what that means, is fucking insane. Because hyperspace is like a dimension that, like I said, you go into and then you use it to travel from like point A to point B. It's like teleportation, essentially. But But if you're able to navigate when you're in hyperspace, you're navigating at literally the speed of infinity. It's fucking crazy. And it is, and the Jedi that talk about it are like, wow, that's fucking nuts. That's not supposed to work. That doesn't make any sense.
Right, that is very
I,
impressive.
ahead of
I
time,
assume the
and then it gets
idea there
dropped.
is that they let the Force kind of like they
Guide them,
trust the
essentially,
Force
yeah.
to guide them and put them where they belong, and it's not really a
But
Jedi
find-
feat; it's a Force feat, right?
No,
Right.
no, it is literally them using the Force to find different paths that have not been charted out by like normal hyperspace routes. It's like actually they are like literally like they are using their
Yeah, but
brains
it's
to
more
do this.
I think the term "using the Force" is maybe a little bit of a misnomer there.
Right, but that's
Um,
everything
but
in Star Wars.
Sure,
like,
I
everything is
understand.
using
I
the Force.
understand.
Third degree
Okay,
makes a good
so
point. Hyperspace is
I
just
think
hyperspace.
kind of wrapping this up because we are at time. We have a lot of different like very big statements
We are.
that I think when you actually like play these games don't sound like they should hold up.
Yeah, right.
But you know, so
Neither
it's
of them
up
are this
to
powerful in
interpretation.
regular gameplay.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Right.
The poll is up, so
Yeah.
go ahead and get your votes in. Who wins between Revan
Julio.
and Dark Urge?
It's like-
I think it comes down to a lot of interpretation. What do you think, Chad?
Oh, well, I got very, very, very excited about this episode. I honestly, like, on paper going into this, I was like, yeah, whatever, you know, like, but now I'm like really interested to see these two systems, like the Force clash up against like the Weave, right? Like, and how this, yeah, I'm sold on this episode, and I'm kind of leaning towards Tulio, I guess we'll call him.
Yeah.
And Jack of all trades says, man, what I would give to make this into an episode. We're overdue for Return to Star Wars. Yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, for sure.
I really want this episode
I
to happen, if that isn't obvious.
yeah. I think a lot of us really like this episode. We've got a lot of big Star Wars fans and D&D fans like in the crew here. Heck, we literally just did a Star Wars D&D adventure on Nightly Brew. If you
Damn
haven't
it!
checked
Every
it out.
time,
Yeah.
you got them all. Every time I'm about to fucking do it. I'm 0-3. God. No, I'm just kidding.
God, now you know what it feels like. when you
Which
do
has
shit
turned
to
out
me.
great. I love that video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's so much fun. Also, speaking of shilling ourselves, there's only 3 days left to grab the Wiz U2s. So if you have not pre-ordered the Wiz U2s off of u2s.com, I believe the link should be below. You have less than 3 days to do it. So do it now. Please do. It's so adorable looking. Once that window is closed, this guy will never be available again. So don't miss out. Yeah, oh my god. Okay, this is such a fun matchup. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing the poll here?
Yep.
What's happening? It's 50-50 right now.
Oh.
What the hell? Okay.
I need to get my phone out and vote.
Javi Stand is coming in to try to like sway the vote. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. It briefly changed. All right. I'm going to end it. And whatever it's gonna be, I actually can't see the full thing because the way YouTube structures it for me. I'm gonna stop it in 3, 2,
Oh, it's
1.
so close.
And we are at. It's not popping up for me. Where is it?
It takes a second.
Where is it? What happened?
I got it. Revan takes it with 51%.
Yeah.
There it is. Wow. Okay. Revan barely squeaks out a victory here with 51% of the poll. YouTube was so conflicted about the numbers that it took a full like 20 seconds to actually present it. Wow. Okay. Which does mean
really
that
close.
somehow, even though 2 researchers came in to combat Liam, Liam still pulled out a win here.
Oh god, we're gonna
Crazy.
get to the end of it.
Wow. Okay.
Tried to
Well,
take
what a
down- you aim for the king, you best not miss.
I'll get you one day, Liam.
We'll talk about it in the post show.
Yeah, there's okay. Obviously, we just barely scratched the surface on this. Star Wars and Forgotten Realms have so much crazy lore and power sets and things like that. There'd be so much more for us to cover in like a full Death Battle episode. I don't know how we would cover everything in a Death Battle episode. To be frank, it'd be crazy. But it would be such an interesting comparison for sure. Okay, let us know in the comments below. Do you think this should be a full Death Battle? I think it'd be pretty cool. But I would love to know your thoughts if you're watching at home. If you're watching this live, stick around. We're going to jump to our Champions Only Champions Cast, Members Only Champions Cast. If you are a YouTube member for the Death Battle channel, you will be automatically moved over. If you're not a member, hey, go check out that membership option right below the video. We offer a bunch of extra goodies for people who support the show directly through that membership option. Speaking of memberships, there's also memberships on the Death Battle website, deathbattle.gg, which if you have seen Groove versus Megamind, you might have seen a little blurb about that, because there is a possibility that Groove versus Megamind gets hit in some way or they're taking down. We don't know. It hasn't been hit yet. As far as I'm aware, it hasn't been hit yet. But the Megamind preview got hit like on Thursday or something like that. So it was up for a few days before it was hit directly. So we'll see how Groove versus Megamind goes, right? But if it does go down, it is on deathbattle.gg. So all Death Battle episodes, including ones that have been either edited on YouTube or taken down from YouTube, are all available on deathbattle.gg, as well as a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. We'll be posting like the animatic, the storyboards for Groove versus Megamind on there pretty soon. As well as we might have some behind the scenes, information about the episode to share on deathbattle.gg.
And we have a promo code right now. Use the promo code presentation, all caps, and you'll get a free month of a membership over at deathbattle.gg.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Lousy and Javi, thanks for repping.
Yeah, great job.
It was a great time.
That was great. And we will see you in just a little bit on Champion Cast.